couple of different things. First of all, we can manage them, but the thing that is most unique about us is that we have something we call resilience. So while there's lots and lots of security capabilities, we're sort of the security capability that you can't turn off. So when we talk about management, when we talk about protecting or keeping those other security controls you installed, we make sure that they're always there and they're always on.
Are you guys primarily B2B at this point, or do you have a consumer side of this business?
We've had consumer products in the past. I'd say we're primarily B2B today.
And when you look at that market right now, I mean, certainly there's a lot of excitement in the stock prices of various of these companies, but it does feel like executives that we have, like yourself, from many of these security plays say, you wouldn't believe how many opportunities there are out there or how many vulnerabilities some of these big companies have, and they don't even know how vulnerable their systems really are. I mean, what are some of the things that you see from your clients where they came to you and said, hey, yeah, we're thinking about this, and then you looked at their system and said, oh my God, I can't believe you guys haven't been, completely hacked or had all your data compromised yet?
So the thing to remember is that security is a journey. And so it's not like there's a checklist, you do 10 things and you've got it covered. We just released a report about a month ago where we went out and we looked at all of the endpoints connecting to our service. And one of the interesting things that we found was that while we're spending more and more on security, $124 billion this year as an industry, and a lot of that is going on these devices, it's the fact that we actually have so many security controls that's almost creating a vulnerability. They conflict with one another, they decay over time. And so this false sense of security where CIOs or CISOs would say, I deployed encryption, I deployed fill in the blank endpoint, and I deployed 3 more this year and I'm going to do 3 more next year. Every one of these organizations is a snowflake, and every one of these things is interacting in a completely unique way. And so that creates exposure.
Not a liberal snowflake, Miles. Different kind of snowflake.
Different snowflake, yeah.
Let me ask you, very simple question, but I think a lot of people wonder this. Are the hackers getting better? Who is advancing at a faster rate? The good guys or the bad actors?
I'd love to say we're winning, but I think like any other innovation play, it's got to be an equal race, right? They keep us on our toes, and I think the reason why you see such strong companies like CrowdStrike and others coming out into the market is because that landscape is going to change dramatically. Whatever you think the big vulnerability is this year, next year it's going to be something completely different, and that means the vendor you care the most about is going to be completely different. That's one of the things we look at, which is the 5 to 7 things that you care about persisting and making sure it's always on this year is going to be totally different next year. What matters is that you have a consistent way of looking at them.
Let's talk about the landscape of this industry right now. So there are a bunch of companies that people have been really excited about that have come out and IPO'd this year, a couple, from last year as well. We've had Okta on here recently. Then there's all these smaller players too, and I'm going to put you guys in that. You guys are publicly traded, but you are smaller. You're up in Canada. Is there going to be a lot of M&A in here? Are things going to get rolled up? Or are all these companies going to be able to kind of stand alone? How do you envision yourself with this backdrop?
I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. And it comes back to this innovation piece, right? It comes back to how quickly the landscape is unfolding, which means there's going to be constant funding of new mitigations to new risks all the time. And as those things mature, they merge with others. It starts to look like the integration between 2 pieces makes a lot of sense, and so they should just be one. But just as that's happening, 3 new things pop up. So I don't actually see any slowdown in the innovation, the funding that's going to go into new technologies and new startups. I don't see any slowdown in that. And I think the consolidation makes sense. When
so there will be consolidation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You guys are based in Vancouver. Slack is going public tomorrow. Neighbors, any insight on that company? Have you met those guys? What's up with them? And I guess just thinking about the Canadian tech company coming public in the U.S., does that matter to you where these companies are based in terms of thinking about, it's not just Silicon Valley, right? There's Waterloo, of course, where BlackBerry was from, and then Vancouver with its own scene, yeah.
Well, to be fair, I'm between Silicon Valley and Vancouver, so I have a foot in sort of both camps, but I love seeing a successful Canadian tech company going out. I love to see successful innovation companies going out, and what I really love about the Slack platform is that it provides a foundation for teams like mine to collaborate and get stuff done, and that's, I'm a huge fan of that, and so I think I love so much about it, and I have to say, even in a public space, we're a customer, and we love the technology.
We are slaves to our Slack channels as well. They are everywhere.
Christy Wyatt is the CEO of Absolute Software. Thank you so much.